Yo, hey guys, it's Jarret. Thank you for coming back to the channel. Thank you so much also for the undying support last week. So if you could do me a favor right now and hit like and subscribe, stay tuned for more. Just want to get a couple more videos out, try to crank out the rest of these rogues, see what we can do about it. I think I've got about 11 more to go, and then there should be another 4 or 5 rogues added by the end of this year. And I'm going to try to cover them as well. But today, in today's video, we're going to go into Dallas. Right, Dallas is what I personally believe is probably the best rogue in the game. That is just in my opinion, but I've playing through the alpha for the 7-8 months that I did. Dallas is just top tier. He is the best character in the game in my opinion. There's some other close characters that are probably have a very similar kit. If you notice, I'm circling the HRM 30KS. This gun has not been really looked at, but I truthfully think this gun alone is probably the best gun in the game, along with having the Devotion, which is the probably best DRM in the game. Between that and possibly the Mamba, which is on Saint, and we'll be covering Saint later today. Update you guys on that. Alright, so let's get right into this. Dallas is a former Texas lawman. Dallas is widely regarded as one of the best trackers in the world, which is a quick hint to his first ability, Target Finder. Reveal the closest enemy for a short duration. So right when you go in a game, if you jump off the heli and you land, you hit your Q or your ability button, and it scans. Right, it scans in a proximity outside of you, and it will basically like relay to the whole map, all the way to the outside of that proximity, and it will reveal any rogues that don't happen to have a like ghost masking perk that prevents them from being revealed. Right, so if you're playing against a Dallas, definitely pick up that perk first round. It's going to help you out a ton. Next, he has Recharge, which is his passive. It just recharges his ability upon a downing an enemy. So if you're playing, right, it's a 4v4. Use Target Finder. You get your first pick. That's one guy down, right? And as long as Dallas gets that, you get to recharge, and you get to use it again, which reveals the next 3 teammates. And it goes on and on and on until no one's alive. It's the best ability in the game. Talon's up there in like a top 5, top 10 of the rogues, but there's only 11 or 13 rogues or whatever. But Talon is also up there, but I would put Dallas above everyone with this Target Finder ability. And then going further into his kit, we have the HRM 30KS and the DMR Devotion. Alright, moving on. We're going into Dallas's kit right away. We're going to go into the HRM 30KS once again. It does a body damage of 24, has a fire rate of 6.06, has a range of 23, a handling of 34, a magazine of 20 ammo, and a reload time of a whopping 1.9 seconds. This is at base, right? At tier 1, it increases the damage range. Range goes up by 4, goes up to 27 in total. This just allows like headshots and things like that to do a little more damage, and it basically becomes a 3-shot kill, if not less. At tier 2, you get an increased hipfire accuracy. This gun does have a reasonably slow fire rate compared to like a submachine gun, but it still gets the job done. This hipfire is actually really useful at times, especially if you understand like kind of the recoil pattern of it. It is an AK. It goes up and to the right. And then at tier 3, it adds suppressed firing and reduces the recoil completely. If you ever watch someone when they shoot the HRM from like a third-person perspective, like if you're the guy getting shot at, you'll notice the gun's like completely held sideways, and it's just like ta-ta-ta-ta. I can't stand this gun. This gun needs like severely looked at, but it is the bread and butter gun, I'd say, of the game, and it is a staple right now, and so I feel like they're just going to let it be a little longer. But once again, everyone's sleeping on how good the HRM is. It is the best gun in the game, in my opinion. Moving on to the Devotion. This is the DMR. It's a single-shot lever action rifle. Let's see. So we're going to start off as a body damage of 45, a fire rate of 2.22, a range of 37, a handling of 51, and a magazine size of 6 with a reload time of half a second. A tier 1 increases the bullet penetration. Allows this to go through people, because it doesn't actually shoot through walls. Certain places you can shoot through, I believe, and this just makes that much better. But that hasn't really been that's not really been an apparent issue yet that a lot of players have shown and popped up. I think maybe down the road we'll see it more, but I guess only time will tell. A tier 2, increase the magazine size, and it gets a faster reload speed. So it goes from half a second of a reload time down to 45. Wow, they really buffed all this over the alpha. I totally remember when the DMR first was like existing and nobody used it. Like this gun is actually broken. Also, like once again, nerf Dallas. Dallas is completely and entirely broken, but nobody's talking about it because things like Scorch exist. Phantom's got aim lock with their, crosshair. Magazine size goes up to 8. Once again, this gun is amazing. You can literally like 2-tap everyone in the head. And tier 3, this thing looks so scary. The range goes up to infinite. That's not a number. This is complete infinite. It has infinite range. Alright, so this gun can literally just like snipe you through walls. Awesome, I love it. Moving on, this is the best pistol probably in the game outside of maybe Phantom's pistol and maybe the 3-round burst. I would say those are my top 3. But this LW6 revolver, which is Dallas's signature revolver, is awesome. It does body damage of 36, which I believe is the highest of all the pistols. A fire rate of 2.78, a range of 16, a handling of 47, a magazine size of 6, and a reload time of 1.6. Cool. Moving on to tier 1. Tier 1 increases the damage range, so it goes from 16 to 22. Still doesn't even come close to the 37 of the DMR. And then we're going to go to tier 2 and increase the hip fire accuracy and reduces recoil. So like if you are running the Devotion or even the HRM, you can always weapon switch really quickly, and this revolver will do work. If you notice, it becomes it's got the extended barrel. It looks very visually appealing, like very visually appealing. I hope they add some gun skins to it that'll engrave on it. It'd be beautiful. Down the road. Next is melee weapons, the throwing axe. Throwing axe is a fearsome thrown weapon at tier 2. It increases the throw speed like everything else, and then at tier 3 increases the damage to 150, so you can one-shot people with shield. This gadget is the EMP grenade. Dallas got a fat EMP grenade, damage equipment, and prevent targets from using their abilities and gadgets for a duration. So if you ever run into a trench or if you ever run into a trench or an anvil, you just throw this down at their equipment and it's gone, and it's completely useless. I barely see these being utilized right now in public games, but I'm gonna say right now, you guys need to be using these. You can carry 2 different gadgets. You're allowed to switch them at any time. You can use both per round. I highly suggest start picking up these EMPs. Tier 1, increase EMP duration. Tier 2, you get an extra one. Next, he's got the other most broken thing in the grenade, the Incendiary grenade. I love this grenade. Just makes a pool of fire. Tier 1 increases the radius. Let's go a little bigger. And then this increases the duration of the effect of the fire. Basically cuts off a whole spot, and it just it stops people from reviving, especially, or if a player's cornered, it's the easiest just to throw it down and they can't go anywhere, and it's GG. Next, we're going to go through Dallas's perks. First perk, padded steps. Perk 1, silence the sound of your footsteps when not sprinting. This is absolutely awesome, actually. Next, this whole kit is just crazy. I can't believe this character hasn't been nerfed at all. And the ability to reload while sprinting. Right, so Dallas can just run at you with the HRM. Next, he removes the aim down sight penalty. Wow, he really doesn't miss with these perks. Stalker is absolutely insane. He's able to just walk around the HRM, completely silent if he wants, with the ability to completely reload. Reduces his health generation delay is his 4th perk, bounce back. It allows him to immediately start regaining back health the second he leaves combat. So if you get shot and you duck, you can wait like half a second and you're going to start filling back up real quickly. And on top of that, we have his 5th perk, Headstrong, which allows him to have an extra 25 armor on top of that. He literally can't die. If you die at Dallas, you missed your shots, and you need to figure that one out. That's the bigger problem. And then his other 10,000 perk is downloading an enemy reload your currently equipped weapon and restores ammunition. I'd say this is kind of useless on Dallas when you could easily reload while sprinting. You've got a gun that reloads in 2 seconds. You got another gun that reloads in half a second, and you have a pretty nice pistol. Dallas is the full package. Cool. Alright, going into this buying order right away. We're going to start off. Some people like to get this pistol. Once again, I prefer to get one of these. So we're going to get the Incendiary. EMP's truthfully probably the more competitive pick. So if you're looking to be a competitive player, I'd suggest that. I think my screen resolution's a little messed up right now. Or I just got the new stretch res. You notice it goes up and to the right every time. And so, especially if you're on mouse and keyboard, you can just pull it down, right? If you pull it down slowly, it stays right on them, and you don't miss. And so you can literally deliver 4 headshots and kill every person on the enemy team if you know how to use said gun. Demonstration purposes, we're picking up everything. All right, so that's what I wanted to point out. On the DMR, that half-second reload time does happen to just be per round. It's not a whole clip. So you guys can go ahead and see. You got the extra 25 armor. fight, like the armor doesn't recharge as well. It doesn't recharge. Once it takes the damage, that damage is gone for the rest of the round. Pop art Q. Ah, that's so satisfying to hear that sound. I'm glad they added the bell back. The bell is so satisfying on headshots. Alright, we're gonna go ahead and do this. We'll full upgrade next round. And I know I'm just playing against bots, but it's a good way to aim train. But I can't really aim at all anyway right now. My crosshair is just like messed up, but I think the screen's still right. Oops. There. You see how that works? So if you just drag down, start at the head. We're gonna go ahead and full upgrade this, right? So there's no movement penalty. You don't want them. Movement penalties like aren't really the biggest problem in this game. But if you have the ability to get rid of it, I'd suggest it, because movement is always like the most important thing in a shooter outside of like aiming, right? Like even if you didn't know how bomb sites worked, right? Not that anybody, you know, that plays any games ever don't know how to plant a bomb and defuse a bomb. But, you know, to each their own. All right. You see this gun literally just flicks on people's heads. Also with the as a smaller reticle right now too, right? You guys see that? So if you keep it down, if you just pull it down slowly, you keep it right locked on them. It's the easiest gun in the game to use for on a mouse. I seriously think it needs readjusted and looked at. We're gonna pick up this KA3, right? We see how much kick it has. It can do a very similar thing. You can do the exact about same thing. These AKs in general just need looked at. In my personal opinion, once again, in my personal feelings towards the game. We'll go ahead and finish this off with a pistol round. We'll full upgrade it, right? So that way we have the increased damage range, and then we have the increased hipfire accuracy and reduces recoil. To find out real quickly, this is like the best pistol in the game. At one point, Phantom actually used to also have this pistol. Just aim for the head. It does 54. It's like the best gun in the game for a pistol if you use it efficiently. Cool. So that pretty much wraps it up for Dallas, and yeah, hopefully you guys are checking out the next one.